The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do. If you've ever felt stuck, like you're putting in the effort but not getting the results you want, this video is for you. Working relentlessly is the bridge between where you are right now and where you want to be. It's about pushing past the excuses, the fatigue, and the distractions to keep moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about what it really means to work relentlessly. It's not just about putting in long hours or working harder than everyone else. It's about developing a mindset and a daily routine that moves you toward your goals, no matter the obstacles. If you're tired of waiting for success to come to you or feeling like you're not getting the results you deserve, keep watching. I'm going to show you how relentless effort is the key to achieving your dreams. Let's get started. Number 1. Wake up with a purpose every day, every single day. When you wake up, you're given a choice. You can either take control of your day or you can let the day control you. The first decision you make each morning is so important. It sets the tone for everything that follows. And here's the truth. Most people don't take this decision seriously. They wake up, roll out of bed, maybe hit snooze once or twice, and just let life happen. They move through their day without direction or purpose, waiting for motivation to come to them. But that's not how the successful people in this world operate. They know that if you don't wake up with a purpose, your day will slip away without you even realizing it. Let's be real here. When you wake up, how often do you actually feel ready to take on the world? Most of us wake up and we're groggy, tired, and not ready to tackle everything on our plate. But that's the difference between those who are successful and those who aren't. The successful people don't wait for the right moment. They don't wait for the alarm to go off and decide whether or not they feel like getting up. They get up because they have a reason to get up. They have a purpose. And that's where it all starts. If you don't have a purpose, how can you expect to achieve anything? If you don't know why you're getting out of bed in the morning, you'll end up wandering through your day without any direction. It's as simple as that. But when you wake up with purpose, everything changes. You get up with energy. You get up with focus. You get up and you move towards something that matters to you. Let's be clear. Waking up with purpose doesn't mean you wake up feeling motivated every single day. It doesn't mean you feel like jumping out of bed at the crack of dawn ready to conquer the world. It's about having a reason to get up. It's about knowing what you're working toward and why it matters. When you wake up with purpose, it doesn't matter how you feel. You get up and you get to work. Think about the people who have achieved incredible things in life. Do they wake up and wonder if today is the right day to work? Do they think about skipping the gym or taking a break from their goals? Of course not. They wake up and they get to work. They know that every single day is a gift. They know that every day counts. And that's why they make the most of every moment. If you want to be one of those people, you have to decide right now that your mornings are going to be different. You can't afford to waste time. You can't afford to wake up and just see what happens. If you want to move forward in life, you have to have a plan. And the best way to have a plan is to wake up with a purpose. Know exactly what you need to do. Know what's important. And get to it right away. Here's a simple but powerful idea. The night before, take 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, and decide what you're going to do the next day. What's the most important thing you need to accomplish? Write it down. Don't try to make a list of everything. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just pick one thing and make it your focus for the day. It's simple but powerful. When you wake up, you won't be thinking about all the things you have to do. You'll know exactly where to start, and you'll hit the ground running. If you don't make a plan, you'll waste time. You'll get distracted. You'll jump from one thing to the next, without any real focus. And before you know it, the day is over and you haven't made any progress. But if you wake up with a plan and a clear purpose, everything changes. You're no longer reacting to life. You're in control. You're setting the pace. This isn't about being perfect. It's not about getting everything done all at once. It's about taking consistent action every single day. You don't need to move mountains today. You just need to take one step forward. That's it. If you wake up every morning with the intention to take that one step, you'll be amazed at how much progress you make over time. Success isn't about doing everything at once. It's about showing up every day and doing the work. There's another key to waking up with purpose: discipline. Motivation is great, but it's not always there when you need it. Some days you won't feel like getting up. Some days you'll be tired. Some days you'll want to hit snooze and roll over. And you know what? That's okay. What matters is that you do it anyway. Discipline isn't about feeling like it. It's about doing it, whether you feel like it or not. It's about pushing yourself when it's hard. It's about showing up even when it's uncomfortable. The people who get ahead in life don't rely on motivation alone. They rely on discipline. They make a decision to do what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel. And that's the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Success doesn't come from waiting for motivation to strike. It comes from the small, consistent actions you take, day in and day out. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes. If you really want to get ahead in life, you need to stop making excuses. You need to stop waiting for the perfect moment. There will never be a perfect moment. The best time to start is now. And that means waking up with purpose, getting to work, and taking responsibility for the day ahead. Every day is a chance to move closer to your goals. Every day is an opportunity to build the life you want, but you have to take it. You have to grab it with both hands and make the most of it. You're in control of your mornings, and you're in control of your life. What you do with your mornings will shape the rest of your day and the rest of your life. So the next time your alarm goes off, don't hit snooze, don't waste time. Get up with purpose, get up with intention. Take control of your day and take control of your future. Make it count. Number 2, make hard work a daily habit. Hard work is non-negotiable. You can't wish for success. You can't hope for it to happen. You can't wait for the right moment to fall into your lap. If you want to achieve something great, you have to work for it. And not just once, not just when it's convenient, but every single day. The key to success is making hard work a habit. And habits are powerful. If you make hard work a part of your daily routine, it will no longer feel like a struggle. It will just be something you do, like brushing your teeth or making your bed. But here's the thing. Most people don't treat hard work as a habit. They treat it as something that happens when they're feeling motivated or when they have no other choice. And that's why they fall short of their potential. Hard work is the foundation of success. It's the thing that separates the people who achieve their goals from the people who sit around waiting for things to change. When you make hard work a daily habit, you put yourself in the driver's seat. You stop waiting for things to happen and start making them happen. That's how you get ahead. So how do you make hard work a daily habit? It starts with a simple decision. Decide that you're going to work hard, no matter what. Make it a part of your daily routine. You don't need to feel inspired. You don't need to wait for the right time. The right time is now. The moment you make the decision to work hard every day, you've already set yourself up for success. But it doesn't end there. You have to follow through. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that hard work only counts when it's convenient. They think, I'll work hard when I feel motivated, or I'll work hard when everything is going well. But that's not how it works. You have to work hard when it's tough, when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, and when things aren't going as planned. That's when the real growth happens. Consistency is the key. It's not about working hard for a day or a week and then taking a break. It's about showing up every day and giving your best. Day in, day out. No excuses, no shortcuts. You do the work, and you do it consistently. Building a habit of hard work doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. It might feel like you're pushing yourself too hard. But over time, it gets easier. It becomes second nature. And the more consistent you are, the more momentum you build. You start to see results, and those results fuel your drive to keep going. One of the best ways to make hard work a habit is to start small. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to do everything at once. Focus on one thing, just one thing, that will move you closer to your goal. Whether it's waking up earlier, working on a specific project, or improving a skill, commit to it every day. Even if it's just for a short time, the key is consistency. Show up and do the work, no matter how small it may seem at first. Because over time, those small actions add up to something big. But it's not just about putting in the hours. It's about working smart. You can work hard all day, but if you're not focusing on the right things, it's not going to get you anywhere. That's why it's so important to be clear on what you want to achieve. When you know exactly what you're working for, it becomes easier to stay focused. You're not wasting time on things that don't matter. Every minute counts. Every action moves you closer to your goal. Now here's something important. You have to be accountable. It's easy to say you'll work hard, but when things get tough, it's easy to let yourself off the hook. You have to hold yourself accountable. If you're not getting the results you want, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and ask, am I really doing the work? Am I putting in the effort? Am I doing everything I can? If you're not, then you need to make some changes. It's not enough to just say you're working hard. You have to prove it through your actions. Sometimes that means making sacrifices. Sometimes that means saying no to things that aren't moving you forward. Hard work requires focus, and that means cutting out the distractions. It means turning off the TV, putting down your phone, and doing the work that needs to be done. It's easy to get caught up in the small stuff. It's easy to waste time on things that don't matter. But successful people don't waste time. They're focused. They know exactly where they're going, and they do whatever it takes to get there. Now let's talk about the mental side of hard work. A lot of people give up when they face obstacles or when things get tough. They think, maybe this isn't for me, or I don't have what it takes. But that's where the real work happens, when you keep going even when it's difficult. When you hit a wall, don't stop. Don't give up. Push through. The more you push, the stronger you get. The more you overcome, the more you grow. It's the challenges and the struggles that shape you into the person you need to be to achieve your goals. And here's a secret. The harder you work, the luckier you get. People who work hard consistently don't rely on luck. They create their own luck. They put in the work, and over time, opportunities start to open up. They start to see results. They start to build momentum, and before they know it, they've created the life they've always wanted. But it all starts with hard work. So make hard work a daily habit. Make it something you do without thinking. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the perfect conditions. The perfect moment is right now. If you want something, you have to go get it. You have to work for it every single day. Remember, success isn't about talent or luck. It's about hard work. And when you make hard work a habit, it becomes your secret weapon. No one can take that from you. No one can outwork you if you're committed to showing up every day and giving it your all. The choice is yours. You can sit back and wait for success to come to you, or you can get up, get to work, and make it happen. The work is the key. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's what separates the people who talk about success from the people who actually achieve it. So make hard work a habit. Make it your lifestyle. Commit to it every single day, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. The hard work will pay off. I promise you that. Number 3, do more than what's expected. We all know that in life, there are certain expectations, whether it's in your job, your personal life, or even in your relationships. People have a way of setting certain standards. But here's the thing, if you really want to stand out, if you really want to get ahead, then you've got to do more than what's expected of you. This is the secret that most people miss. They do just enough to get by. They do what's required, and they stop there. They meet the bare minimum, and then wonder why they don't get ahead. But here's the truth. Doing the bare minimum will never get you where you want to go. It will keep you stuck in the same place, doing the same thing with the same results. If you want something better, you have to be willing to do more. Let's look at this from a simple perspective. Think about your job or the work you do. What is expected of you? Do you do just enough to meet those expectations, or do you go beyond them? When you're given a task, do you put in the effort to make it great, or do you just get it done? If you want to be successful, you have to stop settling for good enough. You have to do more than what's expected of you. The truth is, the people who get ahead are the ones who don't just show up. They show up and give extra effort. They don't just meet expectations. They exceed them. And that's what sets them apart. The difference between good and great is not just about working harder, but about working smarter and giving that little bit more. That little bit more is what makes all the difference. Now let's be clear. Doing more than what's expected doesn't mean burning yourself out. It doesn't mean working yourself to exhaustion. It means adding value. It means going the extra mile in everything you do. Whether it's adding something extra to your work, offering to help others, or finding ways to improve what you're doing. It's about doing something that wasn't required, but that adds value. It's like this. If you show up to work and do just what's required, you're doing your job. But if you show up and do a little more, whether it's staying an extra hour to finish something, bringing a new idea to the table, or helping a coworker, you're doing something that makes you stand out. You're adding value to the environment around you. And that's what people notice. That's what gets you recognized. That's what leads to growth and new opportunities. One of the most important things you can do is get in the habit of over-delivering. This is not just about doing more, it's about doing better. It's about looking for ways to add extra value in everything you do. Think about your daily tasks. Is there something you can do to make them better? Is there something you can add to make them stand out? The more you can do this, the more you'll get noticed. And the more you get noticed, the more opportunities will open up for you. Let me tell you something. The people who do more than expected aren't waiting for someone to tell them to do it. They don't need a boss or a manager to ask them to put in extra effort. They do it on their own. They take the initiative. They look for ways to add value, to improve, and to do better. That's how you build a reputation as someone who's not just good, but great. That's how you build a reputation as someone who's reliable, who goes above and beyond, and who's always looking for ways to contribute. And this doesn't just apply to your job. This is true in all areas of your life. Think about your relationships. Are you just doing what's expected? Are you just doing what's easy? Or are you going the extra mile to show you care, to support the people around you, to make their lives better? The same principle applies in every area of life. If you want to build strong relationships, you have to do more than what's expected. You have to be there when it counts. You have to offer support when it's needed. You have to go out of your way to make others feel valued. Here's the thing. When you start doing more than what's expected, you're not doing it for recognition. You're not doing it for a reward. You're doing it because it's the right thing to do. You're doing it because you understand that giving more is what sets you apart and helps you grow. And guess what? When you do more than what's expected, you'll be rewarded. But that reward isn't always immediate. Sometimes it comes later, but it will always come. The universe has a way of rewarding effort, hard work, and dedication. It might not happen overnight, but it will happen. And when it does, it will be worth it. It's easy to get caught up in thinking that doing more means making bigger, grander moves. But it doesn't have to be that complicated. It's the small things that matter most. It's the little details that can make a huge difference. Maybe it's just giving a little extra effort in a meeting, offering a suggestion that helps someone out, or taking the time to learn something new that improves your skills. It's the small steps that add up over time, and those small steps are what make the big difference. Here's something important to keep in mind. Don't expect others to do the same. You're not doing this to compare yourself to others. You're doing this because you want to be your best self. If you focus on doing more than what's expected of you, you'll quickly see how much more you're capable of. You'll realize that you can achieve more than you ever thought possible, simply by making the decision to push past what's expected. People notice when you go above and beyond, and when people notice your effort, they want to work with you, they want to promote you, and they want to give you opportunities. It's simple. If you consistently show that you're someone who gives more than expected, you'll be the one who stands out when opportunities arise. So don't just settle for meeting expectations. Exceed them. Do more than what's required. Take the initiative. Go the extra mile. Add value wherever you can. You don't have to wait for others to tell you to do it. Be the person who always gives more. Be the person who's always looking for ways to improve, to help, and to make things better. When you do this, success isn't something you have to chase. It will start coming to you. Because when you consistently give more than what's expected, you build a reputation, you build momentum, and you build the kind of future you've always dreamed of. Number 4. Work when no one is watching. Success is not built in front of an audience. It's built in the quiet moments when no one is watching. That's where the real work happens. That's where the true progress is made. It's easy to work when people are around, when you know someone's keeping an eye on you. But that's not where the magic happens. The magic happens in the moments when it's just you and the work. You see, anyone can show up and do the job when there's a crowd. Anyone can put on a good show when there's a reward or a compliment waiting at the end of the day. But the real test, the true measure of your character, comes when no one is looking, when no one is there to pat you on the back or tell you how great you are. It's in those quiet moments, when the only person who knows if you're working is you, that your future is being shaped. I'll tell you this, if you want to be successful, you need to get comfortable with the idea that most of the work you do will never be seen by anyone. Most of the effort you put in will go unnoticed. And that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. Because the work you do when no one is watching is the work that counts. It's the work that moves you forward, even when you don't see immediate results. Let's talk about the difference between the people who succeed and the people who don't. The people who succeed are the ones who keep going when things are tough. They're the ones who keep working when no one is paying attention. They're the ones who put in the hours when no one else is around to see them. They're the ones who stay committed to the process, no matter what. And that's what makes all the difference. Success isn't built on the hours you put in when you're being watched. It's built on the hours you put in when no one is around. Think about it. When no one is watching, there are no rewards, there are no trophies, no applause. It's just you, working in the shadows, putting in the effort, because you know it's the right thing to do. And here's the beautiful thing about that. Even though no one else may see it, that effort is what sets you apart from everyone else. That's what gets you ahead. That's what gives you the edge. Because most people don't want to work when no one is watching. They want the recognition, the praise, the acknowledgement. They want the external validation. But real success is built when you do the work, even when there's no one there to give you a pat on the back. So what does this look like in your life? It could mean doing the extra work when the boss isn't around. It could mean spending time honing your craft, practicing your skills, and improving yourself without waiting for someone to notice. It could mean pushing through the long hours, working late into the night, or getting up early to make progress when everyone else is still sleeping. It's about choosing to work, choosing to improve, and choosing to stay committed, even when no one is watching. This is where discipline comes into play. It's easy to work when the motivation is high, when you feel inspired and when people are cheering you on. But real discipline is about working even when you don't feel like it, even when the external rewards aren't there. It's about sticking to your plan and staying on track, even when the world seems to have forgotten about you. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when there's no applause. Now here's something to consider. The effort you put in when no one is watching is often the effort that pays off the most in the long run. It's those moments of consistency, those small daily actions that no one sees, that add up over time to create real success. The people who get ahead aren't necessarily the ones who put in the most flashy work. They're the ones who consistently show up and do the work, even when no one is looking. It's the small efforts, compounded day by day, that lead to massive results. Another important point is that working when no one is watching builds character. It builds your inner strength. It teaches you to rely on yourself and to trust the process. When you know that the only person who sees your effort is you, you develop a deeper sense of integrity. You start to understand that your work is not about impressing others. It's about improving yourself, and that self-improvement, that growth, is what leads to success. You have to recognize that you won't always be in the spotlight. You won't always get the recognition you think you deserve. But that's okay, because the people who get ahead are the ones who don't work for recognition. They work because they know it's what they have to do to reach their goals. They don't need the spotlight to push them forward. They keep working, day after day, because they understand that success is earned in the quiet moments. It's also important to realize that when you work when no one is watching, you're setting an example for others. People notice. They may not say anything, but they see your commitment. They see your consistency. They see your work ethic. And even though they might not show it, you're inspiring others to do the same. You're creating a culture of excellence around you. And when people see that, they want to be a part of it. They want to follow your lead. This is especially important if you're in a leadership role. As a leader, your actions speak louder than your words. When you work behind the scenes, when you put in the effort, even when no one is around, you're setting a standard for others to follow. You're showing them that success isn't about being seen, it's about doing what needs to be done. And that's the kind of leadership that creates lasting success. Number 5, don't let frustration stop you. Frustration is a part of life. It's something we all experience. But here's the important thing. Frustration doesn't have to stop you. In fact, frustration is a signal. It's telling you that you're pushing yourself, that you're facing a challenge, that you're trying to reach higher. And that's exactly where growth happens. But what do most people do when frustration hits? They give up. They let frustration control them. They stop moving forward because it feels too hard, or because things aren't going as smoothly as they imagined. They let their emotions take over, and they get stuck in that feeling of frustration, thinking that it's a sign they should quit. But let me tell you this, frustration is not the enemy. It's a part of the journey. It's something you must learn to handle and push through. The reality is, frustration is normal. It's going to happen. When you're working towards something great, there will be obstacles. There will be moments where things don't go your way, and you will feel frustrated. It's not about whether frustration comes your way. It's about how you respond to it. The people who succeed aren't the ones who avoid frustration. They're the ones who work through it. They're the ones who keep pushing forward, even when things aren't going the way they want. They don't let frustration stop them because they know that success is on the other side of that frustration. The moment you let frustration stop you is the moment you stop growing, stop learning, and stop moving forward. Think about it. Every time you face frustration and choose to keep going, you build resilience. You become stronger. You learn how to overcome obstacles. You learn that you don't need everything to go perfectly in order to succeed. In fact, things will rarely go perfectly. Life is messy. The road to success is bumpy. But you have to make the choice to keep going, no matter how frustrated you get. Frustration is often a sign that you're close to a breakthrough. Think about it. When you're comfortable, when everything is going smoothly, there's no growth. But when you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, when you face challenges, that's when you experience real progress. And frustration is a natural part of that process. It's the discomfort that comes with growth. And if you can learn to push through that frustration, you'll come out stronger on the other side. So how do you deal with frustration? The first step is to acknowledge it. Don't ignore it. Don't pretend it's not there. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to be upset when things aren't going right. But don't let those feelings control you. Don't let them paralyze you. Instead, use frustration as fuel. Use it as motivation to keep going. Turn that frustration into action. Because here's the thing, nothing gets done by sitting around and complaining. Action moves you forward. If you're feeling frustrated, ask yourself, what can I do next? What's the next step I can take to move forward? Don't let frustration cause you to freeze. Keep taking small steps, even if they're imperfect, even if you don't have all the answers yet. Keep moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. Another important thing to remember is that frustration often comes from unrealistic expectations. Sometimes we expect things to happen quickly. We expect success to come easily, and when it doesn't, we get frustrated. But the truth is, success takes time. It's a process, and the journey is rarely straight. There will be ups and downs. There will be moments where things don't make sense, and that's okay. Trust the process. Trust that the work you're putting in is leading you somewhere. Trust that the effort you're giving will eventually pay off. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success should come fast, that things should happen without setbacks. But that's not the reality. Great things take time. Whether it's building a career, improving a skill, or reaching a personal goal, it's going to take effort and persistence. Frustration is a sign that you're on the right track. Don't let it stop you. Instead, let it remind you that you're pushing yourself. You're working hard, and that's what matters. When frustration hits, take a moment to step back and breathe. Sometimes, in the heat of the moment, we react emotionally, and that's when we make mistakes. But if you can take a breath, take a step back, and regain your focus, you'll find that frustration loses its power. It's when you react without thinking that frustration takes over and stops you in your tracks. But when you can remain calm, when you can keep your emotions in check, you can find a way to keep going. One of the best ways to handle frustration is to reframe it. Instead of seeing frustration as a negative thing, see it as a challenge. See it as an opportunity to grow. When you shift your perspective, you change how you respond to frustration. Instead of letting it stop you, you let it teach you. You let it push you to become better. Frustration is part of the process of becoming the person you need to be to achieve your goals. Don't let it scare you or make you quit. Use it as an opportunity to build strength, resilience, and determination. Remember, every successful person has faced frustration. Every successful person has wanted to quit at some point. But what sets them apart is that they didn't let frustration stop them. They kept going, even when it was hard. And that's what you need to do too. Keep going. Don't let frustration hold you back. Embrace it. Use it. Let it fuel you. Frustration doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It simply means you're facing a challenge. And that challenge is temporary. It will pass. But your response to it will shape your future. Will you let frustration stop you? Or will you push through it and continue on your path to success? The choice is yours. When frustration comes knocking, don't turn around and give up. Keep moving forward. Take action. Make adjustments if necessary. And keep pushing. Because on the other side of frustration is success. On the other side is progress. On the other side is the life you've always wanted. So the next time frustration shows up, Don't be afraid of it. Don't let it stop you. Embrace it, push through it, and use it as fuel to keep moving forward. Number 6. The more you work, the luckier you get. We've all heard the saying, some people are just lucky. And it's easy to believe that some people seem to have all the luck. Things just seem to fall into place for them. But I want to tell you something that will change the way you think about luck. The more you work, the luckier you get. Luck isn't some random thing that just happens. It's not something that's handed out to a select few. Luck is often the result of hard work, preparation, and persistence. The people who appear to be lucky are often the ones who put in the effort when no one else is looking, who keep going when things get tough, and who stay committed to the process. And because of that, they're in the right place at the right time. And opportunities seem to come their way. But those opportunities didn't come by accident. They came because that person was ready for them, because they were working hard and putting themselves in a position to succeed. When you work hard, you start to create your own luck. You begin to position yourself to take advantage of opportunities that others might miss. You start to recognize patterns. You start to see connections that others don't see. And you begin to make decisions that lead to more chances for success. The harder you work, the more opportunities you create. The more effort you put in, the more lucky things will seem to happen. Here's the truth. Luck favors the prepared. The more work you put in, the more you learn. The more you practice, the more you put yourself out there, the more likely you are to succeed. People who work hard put themselves in a position to make their own luck. They don't wait for things to fall into their lap. They go out there and make things happen. Think about the most successful people you know, the ones who seem to always be in the right place at the right time. Do they sit around waiting for something good to happen to them? No, they work hard day in and day out. They're out there doing the work, taking action, and putting in the effort. And as a result, they seem to get lucky breaks along the way. But those lucky breaks didn't happen by accident. They happened because that person was working hard, taking risks, and putting themselves in a position to succeed. Let's say you're working toward a goal, whether it's building a business, improving your career, or learning a new skill. The more effort you put into that goal, the more likely it is that opportunities will start to appear. The more you practice, the more connections you make, the more knowledge you gain, the more opportunities will present themselves. You'll start to see the doors opening up in front of you. And it's not because you're lucky, it's because your hard work and dedication are creating those opportunities. People who don't work hard tend to think that success is something that happens to other people, that it's something that is out of their control. They wait for the perfect opportunity, for the stars to align, for luck to come their way. But here's the secret. The harder you work, the more control you have over your success. You create your own opportunities. You make your own luck, and the more you work, the more success will find its way to you. Now I know what you're probably thinking, but I've been working hard, and things still aren't happening the way I want them to. That's normal. Success doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. But what's important is that you keep going, you keep working, you keep improving. Because every effort you make brings you closer to your goal. Every step forward is a step toward creating more opportunities and more luck for yourself. Sometimes it may feel like your hard work is going unnoticed. It may feel like you're putting in the effort, but not seeing the results. But let me tell you something. Consistency is key. Even when things aren't moving as fast as you'd like. Keep working, keep showing up, keep putting in the effort, because the more consistent you are, the more likely you are to stumble upon opportunities that you couldn't have seen before. The more you put in, the more things start to align, and the more lucky breaks you start to get. Here's another important point. Working hard doesn't just make you luckier, it also makes you more prepared. When you put in the effort, when you push yourself to learn, grow, and improve, you're making yourself ready for the big opportunities that will come your way. Luck is all about being ready for what's next. If you're not working hard, if you're not preparing yourself, you'll miss the opportunities that others would grab with both hands. When you work hard and stay consistent, you build momentum. Momentum is powerful. It creates a snowball effect. The more you do, the more you're able to do. The more you succeed, the more you're able to succeed. Hard work and consistency build momentum, and momentum creates opportunities. And that's when luck starts showing up. It's not a coincidence. It's the result of all the effort and persistence you've put in over time. Another way that hard work makes you luckier is by allowing you to connect with the right people. When you work hard and put yourself out there, you start to meet people who can help you along the way. You start to build a network of people who can open doors for you, share opportunities, and offer advice. The more people you connect with, the more likely you are to find the right opportunities. And those connections come from hard work and putting in the effort. Remember this, you can't sit around waiting for luck to find you. You have to go out and create your own luck by working hard, staying focused, and putting in the time. Success is earned through effort. The more effort you give, the more opportunities will come your way. The more you work, the luckier you get. Success doesn't happen to people who wait for it. It happens to people who take action. It happens to people who work hard every single day, even when things aren't perfect, even when they don't see the results right away. Hard work and persistence create the conditions for success. And that, my friend, is how you create your own luck. Number 7, be the hardest worker in any room. I know this might sound a bit intimidating. You might think, how can I possibly be the hardest worker? There are so many talented people out there. There are people who are smarter, more experienced, and more skilled than I am. But here's the truth. Hard work trumps talent, experience, and skill when it comes down to it. The hardest worker in the room is the one who consistently rises above the rest. And you can be that person. It's easy to be the hardest worker when things are going well. It's easy to show up and give it your all when everything is flowing smoothly. But what about when things get tough? What about when the challenges seem overwhelming? When the work feels like it's piling up? When you're exhausted and tempted to take a break? That's when your true character shows. The hardest worker is the one who shows up, no matter what. They push through the tough days, the long hours, and the moments of doubt. They keep going when everyone else is ready to quit. They give 100% effort when others are only giving 60%. That's what sets them apart. Being the hardest worker doesn't mean burning yourself out. It doesn't mean sacrificing your health, your relationships, or your happiness. It means being intentional with your time and effort. It means putting in the work when it matters and doing it with purpose. Being the hardest worker is about showing up every day and giving your best, even when no one is watching. It's about consistently doing the little things that others overlook, those small actions that add up over time and make a huge difference in the long run. But here's the thing, being the hardest worker doesn't mean working harder than everyone else, just for the sake of working harder. It means working smarter. It means finding ways to be efficient, to prioritize what matters most, and to focus on the tasks that will move you forward. It's about working with a purpose, with a goal in mind, and doing whatever it takes to get there. It also means taking pride in your work. When you're the hardest worker in the room, it shows in everything you do. It shows in the quality of your work, in your attention to detail, in the way you approach challenges. People will notice. They will see the effort you put in, and they will respect you for it. And respect is earned, not given. You earn respect by consistently delivering your best work, by being reliable, by being the person others can count on when things get tough. Another important aspect of being the hardest worker is your attitude. It's about having the mindset that no task is too small, no job is beneath you, and no challenge is too great. It's about being willing to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty, even when others are looking for shortcuts or trying to avoid responsibility. The hardest worker doesn't complain. They don't make excuses. They take ownership of their work, and they do whatever it takes to get the job done. They are accountable to themselves and to others, and they don't settle for mediocrity. Being the hardest worker also means being persistent. It means not giving up when things get tough, when the results aren't immediate, or when you're faced with setbacks. It's about having the perseverance to keep going, even when the road ahead seems unclear. The hardest worker doesn't get discouraged by failure. They use failure as a learning experience, as an opportunity to improve and grow. They understand that success is not a straight line, and that it's the bumps and detours along the way that make the journey worthwhile. One of the most important things about being the hardest worker is the impact it has on those around you. When you work hard, you inspire others to do the same. You lead by example. Your dedication and commitment to excellence can motivate your coworkers, your friends, and your family to step up their own game. It creates a culture of hard work and accountability. When you're the hardest worker in the room, you set the standard for what's expected. You raise the bar for everyone, including yourself. Now let's be clear. Being the hardest worker doesn't mean you have to work non-stop. It doesn't mean sacrificing your personal life or your well-being for the sake of work. It means making the most of the time and energy you have. It means being intentional with your effort and finding balance. It means recognizing when to push yourself and when to take a step back to recharge. Being the hardest worker is about consistency. It's about showing up every day, no matter how you feel, and giving your best effort. It's about building habits that support your goals and staying committed to those habits, even when the excitement starts to wear off. Success doesn't come from a few bursts of effort here and there. It comes from consistent, sustained work over time. And when you're the hardest worker, that's what you're doing. You're building momentum day by day, step by step, until your efforts start to pay off. One of the biggest rewards of being the hardest worker is the sense of pride that comes with knowing you gave it your all. There's nothing more satisfying than looking back at your work and knowing that you put in everything you had. That feeling of accomplishment is what drives you to keep going, to keep pushing, and to keep striving for even greater success. It's not about comparing yourself to others. It's about competing with yourself, challenging yourself to be better, to work harder, and to never settle for less than your best. And here's the reality: if you're the hardest worker, success will come. It may not come immediately, and it may not come in the way you expect, but it will come. People will notice, opportunities will open up, and the results will speak for themselves. You won't need to brag about your work, because your work will speak for you. The effort you put in will show in your results, in your reputation, and in the respect you earn from others. Ask yourself, what kind of worker do you want to be? Do you want to be the person who does the bare minimum? Or do you want to be the hardest worker in the room? Do you want to be the person who waits for opportunities to come to them? Or do you want to be the one who creates opportunities through their hard work and dedication? The choice is yours. But remember this: hard work is the great equalizer. It's something you control. And when you decide to be the hardest worker, you're taking control of your future. You're positioning yourself for success. You're setting the standard for what it means to work with purpose, with dedication, and with a relentless commitment to achieving your goals. Number 8, let your work speak. You'll come across people who talk a big game. They'll boast about their plans, their dreams, their ideas, and what they're going to do. But in the end, it's not the words that matter. What truly matters is what you do, the actions you take, and the work you put in. Let your work speak for itself. The truth is, talk is cheap. Anyone can say they're going to do something, but very few actually follow through. And the problem is, we sometimes get caught up in talking about our goals, our ambitions, and our plans, but we forget the most important thing: to actually do the work. You can say all day long that you're going to be successful, that you're going to change the world, that you're going to achieve greatness. But if you don't back it up with action, it's just noise. When you let your work speak, you let your actions do the talking for you. You stop worrying about what other people think, and you focus on what you can control: your effort, your commitment, and your dedication. Your work becomes your message. It becomes the proof of your abilities, your character, and your drive. You don't need to shout about what you're doing. Your results will speak for you. Let's take a moment and think about this. When you're working hard, putting in the hours, staying focused on your goals, and making progress, the world will notice. They don't need you to tell them how hard you're working. They'll see it in your results. They'll see it in the quality of your work, in the impact you're making, and in the difference you're creating. And that's where the real power lies. You don't need to explain your work or justify what you're doing. When the results start showing up, the world will understand exactly what you're all about. This doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about your work at all, but it does mean that your words should match your actions. Don't tell people what you're going to do. Show them. Don't spend all your time explaining why you're the best at what you do. Prove it with the work you produce. Your work will do the talking for you, and it will do a far better job than any words ever could. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes dedication. And sometimes it takes doing the work when no one is watching. But the key is to remain focused on the process, not the outcome. Don't get distracted by the desire for recognition or validation. Instead, focus on getting better, learning from every experience, and giving your best effort. Because when you consistently put in the work, people will start to take notice, and they'll notice for the right reasons. Think about the people you respect the most. I'm willing to bet that they don't spend their time bragging about their accomplishments. They don't talk endlessly about their successes. They simply show up, do the work, and let the results speak for themselves. And that's what you want to emulate. You want to be the kind of person who lets their work define them, not their words. When you focus on letting your work speak, You're taking the pressure off yourself to constantly promote and defend your achievements. Instead, you're relying on the power of your actions to speak volumes. The more consistent and committed you are, the more your work will shine, and eventually others will begin to recognize the value you bring, the skills you've developed, and the difference you're making. Another important point is that letting your work speak means taking ownership of it. It means being accountable for the results you produce, both the good and the bad. If something doesn't go according to plan, don't make excuses, don't point fingers, own it, learn from it, and keep going. Your work, when it's done with integrity and effort, will always stand as a testament to your character. And even if you face challenges, people will respect you more for owning up to them and continuing to move forward, rather than trying to cover up mistakes or avoid responsibility. There's also something incredibly powerful about letting your work speak in terms of building trust. When people see that you consistently deliver quality work, that you put in the effort every day, and that you follow through on your commitments, they will trust you. Trust is the foundation of all great relationships, both personal and professional. And when you build that trust, you create opportunities for yourself that would have never come if you spent your time talking about what you could do instead of actually doing it. Here's the key. Focus on the process, not the praise. It's natural to want recognition for your efforts. We all do. But when you focus too much on seeking validation, you lose sight of the real goal, to produce great work. Instead of chasing after compliments and accolades, let your work do the talking. When the work speaks for itself, the recognition will come naturally, and it will be much more meaningful because it will be based on the results you've delivered. At the same time, remember that your work will never be perfect. There will be setbacks. There will be moments of doubt, but don't let that stop you. Keep moving forward. Even when things are hard, even when you feel like giving up, keep pushing. Your work will always speak louder than any setback you face. And when people see that you're willing to continue, even when things get tough, they'll admire your persistence, and that will earn you even more respect. Here's an important lesson. Do the work, even when no one is looking. There will be times when you're working late into the night, when you're putting in extra effort, and when no one notices. That's okay, because the most important person who needs to notice your work is you. And when you continue to do your best, even when no one is watching, you're building a reputation for excellence. You're setting yourself apart from everyone else, and you're laying the groundwork for long-term success. Let's take a moment to think about this. Your work will always be your greatest asset. Your skills, your effort, your dedication, they all come together to create something unique. You are in control of how hard you work, how much effort you put in, and how much pride you take in what you do. And when you focus on letting your work speak, you stop worrying about approval from others. Instead, you focus on delivering the best results you can. And that's where true success lies. So what are you waiting for? Don't just talk about what you can do. Show people through your work. Let your actions speak louder than your words. Let your work be the proof of your capabilities, your determination, and your commitment. The more you focus on letting your work speak, the more success you'll achieve, and the more you'll inspire others to do the same. Number 9. Push through pain and frustration. When everything is going smoothly, it's easy to keep going, right? When things are working out the way you want them to, it's easy to stay motivated. But what happens when you hit a wall? What happens when things get hard? What happens when you face pain, frustration, or failure? That's when most people give up. That's when they stop pushing forward. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. The ones who succeed are the ones who push through, even when it hurts. They're the ones who keep going when the going gets tough. They don't let pain or frustration stop them. They face it head on, knowing that on the other side, there's something better waiting for them. You're going to face challenges in life. You're going to feel pain. You're going to feel frustrated. But I want you to understand something very important. Pain is part of the process. It's not something to avoid. It's not something to run away from. Pain, frustration, and failure are signs that you're pushing your limits, that you're growing, that you're moving forward. And if you quit every time you face a little pain, you'll never reach your potential. You'll never experience the success that comes from pushing through those difficult moments. The key to success is not avoiding pain. It's learning how to handle it, how to embrace it, and how to push through it. Pain doesn't last forever. Frustration doesn't last forever. But the results that come from pushing through those tough times can last a lifetime. When you push through pain and frustration, you're building strength, you're building resilience, you're building the kind of character that can face any challenge, no matter how big it is. And let me tell you something, it's not about being perfect, it's not about never making mistakes, it's about learning from those mistakes and getting back up every time you fall. It's about refusing to quit, even when you feel like you can't go on. Now I know that pushing through pain and frustration isn't easy. When things aren't going your way, when you're tired, when you feel like giving up, it can be hard to find the strength to keep going. But that's when you have to dig deep. You have to remind yourself of why you started in the first place. You have to remember your goals, your dreams, and the reason you're doing this. The pain and frustration you're feeling now are temporary, but the results of pushing through will last a lifetime. Think about it like this. If you want to get stronger, you have to challenge your muscles. You have to lift weights, push yourself to the limit, and go through the pain that comes with it. But when you push through that pain, your muscles grow stronger. The same is true for your mind and your spirit. When you push through the pain and frustration, you grow stronger mentally and emotionally. You become more resilient. You learn how to handle adversity, how to stay focused, and how to keep moving forward no matter what. Pain and frustration are also opportunities for growth. When things aren't going the way you want them to, it's easy to feel defeated. But that's the perfect moment to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Every challenge you face is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to improve. And the more you push through those moments, the more you learn about yourself. You learn what you're capable of, what your limits are, and how to push past them. Every time you push through pain and frustration, you become a stronger, more capable person. Let's talk about the mental game for a second. When you're facing pain, when you're feeling frustrated, your mind can start telling you that you can't do it, that you should quit, that it's not worth it. And let me tell you something, those thoughts are lies. Your mind is trying to protect you, to keep you comfortable, but comfort doesn't lead to growth. Comfort doesn't lead to success. If you want to achieve anything great in life, you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone and push through those difficult moments. The first step is recognizing that those feelings of pain and frustration are just temporary. They're part of the journey. They're not the end of the road. They're just a bump in the road. So when you face them, don't let them stop you. Don't let them define you. Instead, use them as fuel to keep going. The more you push through, the easier it becomes the next time. Another key to pushing through pain and frustration is developing patience. You see, when things aren't going the way you want, it's easy to get frustrated. It's easy to want immediate results. But success doesn't come overnight. It takes time. It takes consistent effort. And it takes a lot of patience. When you're feeling frustrated, remember that you're in the process. You're working towards something greater. And even if you don't see the results immediately, every step you take is moving you closer to your goal. One of the best ways to push through pain and frustration is to stay focused on your why. Why are you doing this? What is your purpose? When you focus on your purpose, on the reason you're working so hard, it becomes much easier to push through the difficult moments. Your why will keep you grounded and motivated when everything else feels overwhelming. When you know why you're doing something, when you have a clear purpose, it becomes easier to endure the tough times. And remember, you're not in this alone. Everyone faces pain and frustration. Everyone faces setbacks. But the difference is, some people let those moments stop them, while others use those moments as fuel to keep going. When you push through pain and frustration, you're joining the ranks of those who refuse to quit. You're showing the world that you're committed to your success, no matter what. So the next time you're feeling pain, frustration, or doubt, don't give up, don't quit, push through. Remember that pain is a part of the process, and frustration is just a temporary roadblock. Keep moving forward, no matter how tough it gets, because on the other side of that pain is the success you've been working toward. And the more you push through, the stronger, wiser, and more capable you'll become. Keep going, keep pushing. You've got this. Number 10. Success doesn't have an off switch. Success isn't something that you can turn on and off like a light switch. It's not about putting in a few hours of work and then walking away, expecting everything to fall into place. Success is a continuous effort. It's a mindset, a way of living, and a constant drive to be better every day. It's about giving your best, even when you don't feel like it. You see, a lot of people think success is something that happens when you hit a certain milestone. Maybe it's when you get the job you want, make the money you desire, or reach a specific goal. They think once they've achieved that, they can relax, take it easy, and switch off. But that's where the mistake lies. Success doesn't have an off switch. It's not something you achieve and then put on the shelf. Once you taste success, you've got to keep working for it. You might reach a point where you feel comfortable. You might hit a goal, and things might start going well. But here's the thing. Success is about consistency. The moment you start getting comfortable, the moment you start thinking that you can let up, is the moment you risk losing what you've worked for. Success doesn't stay with you just because you've had it once. It requires ongoing effort, commitment, and hard work. It's a lifestyle, not a one-time event. So how do you make success last? How do you make sure you're always moving forward? You keep working. You keep putting in the effort. You don't sit back and wait for things to come to you. You don't wait for opportunities to just show up on your doorstep. Instead, you create them. You stay hungry. You stay focused. You keep learning and growing, even when things seem to be going well. Because when you stop working, you stop growing, and without growth, success becomes harder to hold on to. In life, it's easy to get distracted. We all have our challenges, and sometimes we get caught up in day-to-day distractions. We get busy with other things. We get tired, or we get discouraged. But success doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you're tired or if you face setbacks. It's not interested in whether you're feeling motivated today or not. Success only cares about one thing: your commitment to keep going. Success is a habit. It's the daily grind, the daily work, the little steps you take every day, no matter how small they seem. It's about building momentum and not letting up. Think about it like this. If you're constantly putting in the effort, no matter how hard it gets, that effort compounds over time. But if you stop, if you take a break, and think that success will just sit there waiting for you, you'll fall behind. Success doesn't work like that. It requires constant effort, and it rewards those who are consistent. It's important to understand that success is not a destination, it's a journey. It's not something you just check off once you get to a certain point. No, success is something you have to keep working toward. Even when you've reached a certain level of achievement, there's always more to do. There's always room to improve, always room to grow. And the key to sustaining success is to never stop working. Think about the top performers in any field, whether it's business, sports, entertainment, or any other area. The people who stay at the top are the ones who never stop working. They don't take long breaks and wait for things to come back to them. They're constantly striving for better, and they know that their success isn't guaranteed forever unless they put in the work. They understand that success doesn't have an off switch. Now you may be asking yourself, what if I just want to relax for a bit? What if I want a break? And it's okay to rest. It's okay to take time to recharge. But don't confuse taking a break with quitting. Resting is a part of the process, but it shouldn't stop you from moving forward. The key is balance. Take care of yourself, but always stay on track. Don't let too much time go by where you stop working towards your goals. Success isn't a vacation. It's a lifelong journey. Every day is an opportunity to push forward. Every single day is a chance to work toward the next level. Even on your hardest days, when you feel tired or overwhelmed, there's something valuable to be learned from pushing through. When you're putting in the work day after day, success starts to build itself. It starts to create a life of its own. And before you know it, success becomes part of who you are. It becomes your routine, your mindset, your daily habit. You'll find that you don't even need to turn it on or off anymore, because it becomes ingrained in everything you do. Now, this doesn't mean you should sacrifice everything else in your life for success. Balance is important, but success requires your focus. It demands your energy, your commitment, and your consistency. It's about giving your best, even when it feels like there's nothing left to give. And as you keep going, you'll find that your capacity to succeed grows. You'll get stronger, you'll get smarter, and you'll get more equipped to face the challenges ahead. Another thing to remember is that success doesn't just happen on its own. It's not something that comes from wishful thinking or hoping for the best. It's something you create. It's something you build step by step, day by day. And you have to stay committed to that process. Whether you're feeling motivated or not, whether things are going your way or not, the key is to keep working. Because the more you work, the more you learn, and the more success you'll have. But if you give up too soon, or if you stop trying when it gets hard, success will slip through your fingers. Think about the most successful people in your life. or in the world. They didn't get where they are by taking breaks or by letting up. They didn't stop working when they reached a certain point. They kept going, pushing through the challenges, and working toward the next level. And that's what you need to do too. Don't let success become something you turn off. Don't let it be something you think you can take a break from. Stay consistent. Keep going. And when you do that, success will follow you wherever you go. In the end, success is a choice. It's a choice to keep moving forward, to keep putting in the work, and to never let up. And while the journey may be long, and the road may be hard at times, remember this: success doesn't have an off switch. It's up to you to keep working, keep pushing, and keep striving for more. And when you do, success will become a part of who you are, and you'll never have to turn it on or off again. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. Now, as we wrap up this video, I want you to remember one thing. Working relentlessly isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every day, putting in the effort, and not giving up, even when it feels hard. The truth is, success doesn't come to those who wait for the right time. It comes to those who work for it, relentlessly, day after day. You may not see the results right away, and that's okay. The key is to keep moving forward. When you work relentlessly, you're building momentum. You're moving closer to the life you've dreamed of, one small step at a time. So don't stop now. Keep going, even when the road feels tough. Remember, the only way to achieve your goals and create the life you want is to work relentlessly, because that's when success will find you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep pushing forward.